Greenland is about to auction off enough untapped clean power to run a meaningful slice of the world's data centers, and almost no one outside the industry is watching. In the second half of 2026, its government opens the bidding on two mapped hydropower sites in the southwest, Tasersiaq, reference 07.E, and Tarsartuup Tasersua, reference 06.G. Combined output potential, more than 9,500 gigawatt-hours per year. In average continuous power, roughly 1.08 gigawatts, cheap, clean. Hydropower. Greenland's entire current installed hydropower capacity is around 91 megawatts. The new tender represents roughly 11 times what the country produces today. It's not being sold to homeowners. The tender is structured for industrial users, data centers, Bitcoin mines, hydrogen producers, mineral processors. Several are already moving in. Start with what's being auctioned. Tasersiaq sits 100 kilometers south of Kangerlussuaq. The site is named for Tasersiaq Lake, a long, narrow body of water stretching 70 kilometers at an elevation of 700 meters. The lake connects, at its eastern end, to the inland ice cap. Glacier melt feeds it year-round. High elevation, large catchment, reliable inflow. The combination makes Tasersiaq one of the most attractive hydropower sites on Earth. A 2005 mapping study estimated developable capacity at around 400 megawatts. Two plants drawing from the same water system. Tarsartuup Tasersua is the second site. Less topographically dramatic, but adjacent to the larger Tasersiaq water system. Combined, the two produce the 9,500 gigawatt-hour annual potential. Both rely on storage hydropower, reservoirs holding water for slow release through turbines. It's dispatchable. Turbines turn on when demand requires, off when it doesn't. For data centers needing 24/7 power, that matters. How the tender works. The Ministry for Agriculture, Self-Sufficiency, Energy, and Environment opens the bid window. Bidders apply for one site or both. Phase 1. An exploration license. Winners receive the right to undertake studies, hydrology, geology, transmission routing, environmental impact. Not the right to build. Phase 2. 3 to 4 years later is the exploitation license. The right to build and produce. Greenland reserves the right to attach conditions: minimum production, employment commitments, revenue sharing, environmental safeguards. A pre-qualification stage filters out bidders without the capacity to develop the resource. Expected threshold: experience operating gigawatt-scale energy projects, access to multi-billion-dollar capital, and a credible end-use plan. Who administers it? Nuna Green, AS, and Nukisorfit, both state-owned. Nuna Green builds new capacity. Nukisorfit operates the existing grid and once construction is complete, runs the plants. The split lets the country bring in international capital while retaining operational control. Right now, they're jointly executing the Buxafjord expansion. The 45 megawatt plant is scaling to 121 megawatts. Construction begins this year. Commissioning targeted 2032. The expansion is the dress rehearsal for the bigger tender. The same agencies, contractors, and regulatory framework applied to a single 45 megawatt project will be applied to a tender 10 times larger. Why is the demand for this auction so intense? First, AI infrastructure. The global hyperscale data center sector consumed roughly 400 terawatt hours of electricity in 2025. By 2030, conservative estimates project that figure could approach 1,000. Every major hyperscaler, Microsoft, Meta, OpenAI, Oracle, AWS, Google, is running into power constraints. Northern Virginia is short. Ireland is short. The Nordics are mostly committed. Second, Bitcoin mining. Greenland's tender, if fully developed, could support roughly 30% of the global Bitcoin hash rate as of early 2026. At industrial tender pricing, mining becomes globally competitive. Third, green hydrogen. European steel, ammonia, and fertilizer producers face decarbonization rules demanding carbon-free hydrogen at scale. Greenland's hydropower can produce it at globally competitive cost, plus a fourth source. Local mineral processing, tan breeze rare earths. Kobolds, disco nusuak, nickel copper cobalt. Each needs reliable power that doesn't exist today. What does 1.08 gigawatts represent? Roughly 800,000 average European homes. About 15 times the entire population of Greenland. Who will actually bid? 3 categories. Category 1, dedicated industrial energy developers. Norway's Statkraft, France's EDF Renewables, Italian consortia experienced in remote hydropower. Category 2, hyperscaler-led consortia. Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon don't typically build plants, but for a resource this scale, they often participate as anchor offtake partners, guaranteeing power purchase agreements for first call on output. Hyperscalers have signed multi-billion-dollar PPAs for new nuclear, solar, even geothermal. Hydropower at this scale fits the pattern. Category 3, emerging Greenland-focused players. The Drew Horn-led Green Met Consortium has stated it will bid on Tasersiaq for a Kangerlussuaq AI data center, targeting 1.5 gigawatts. There's a cautionary precedent. Around 2010, U.S. aluminum giant Alcoa pursued a 680 megawatt smelter in Greenland, powered by hydropower from this same region. After feasibility work and shifting economics, Alcoa abandoned it. Lessons inform the current tender. Bid window is longer, pre-qualification tighter, conditions more flexible. Greenland's regulators are explicitly trying not to repeat the Alcoa failure. The fiscal stakes for Greenland. Greenland's budget depends on transfers from Denmark. Roughly a quarter of public revenue comes from a Danish block grant. The country's stated long-term goal is independence, which requires alternative revenue. A successful hydropower tender could change that math fundamentally. Royalty revenue from gigawatt-scale customers could fund Greenland's path to fiscal autonomy. By 2050, if the tender plays out as designed, Greenland could supply gigawatts of clean industrial power, generating revenue exceeding the Danish block grant by orders of magnitude. Success looks like Greenland becoming a globally significant clean power exporter, a diversified buyer base of data centers, hydrogen producers, mining operators, and Bitcoin miners, each paying market rates. Failure looks like the Alcoa scenario, scaled. 1 buyer signs, 2 buyers walk. The tender stalls. The sites sit unused for another decade. Back to the 2 sites on the map. 2 sites, 1 country, a bid window of 3 to 4 years, a pre-qualification stage filtering for serious bidders, a final exploitation license that could run 40 years. Most large infrastructure tenders take longer than planned. Bid windows slip. Pre-qualification gets contested. Licenses get delayed. Best case, first exploitation licenses awarded around 2030, first construction 2031 or 32, first power around 2038. More realistic, first licenses around 2032, first power around 2040. Greenland's energy export economy reaches commercial scale in the early 2040s. By 2050, the revenue from that power could finally fund the independence from Denmark that Greenland has pursued politically for decades. What to watch in the second half of 2026. How many bidders submit, what industry mix they represent, whether one bidder dominates or the tender awards multiple winners. What to watch in 2027, which bidders clear pre-qualification. That stage will tell observers more about the seriousness of demand than any press release. What to watch in 2030, which exploitation licenses are awarded and on what terms. Those terms will define the next 40 years of Greenland's energy economy. The auction will open quietly. Documents circulated. Bidders register. Hyperscalers, miners, and energy developers will calculate and submit. Most of the global business press hasn't covered the upcoming tender. The companies that win it will likely make far more money than the companies getting headlines today. That's how frontier infrastructure deals work. Quiet first, loud later. Greenland's hydropower tender is right now in its quiet phase. The world is paying attention to other Greenland stories, the political ones, the mining ones. The energy story, the one that will probably shape Greenland's future more than any other, is sitting under the radar. Two map references: 9,500 gigawatt-hours, 1.08 gigawatts. Numbers on a desk, in an office in Nuuk. By 2028, they'll have a winner. By 2035, a buyer. By 2050, they'll have rebuilt Greenland's economy. The auction opens in the second half of 2026, and the world's largest stranded clean energy resource is about to find out who gets to build the future on top of it.